Today, I'll show you how to make Japanese Castella Cake.
こんにちは、I'm Nami from Just One Cookbook.
One of my favorite sweets of all time is Castella. It's a moist and bouncy sponge cake with a light honey sweetness. I'll share my recipe with the special tips and techniques so you can make Castella with a fine and moist crumb.
Before we start, don't forget to subscribe and make sure to click the bell icon for new updates. Now let's get started.
Before we start, remove the eggs from the refrigerator and bring them to room temperature. This can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. Here's how I line the loaf pan. On your work surface, place the loaf pan on top of a 13 by 16 sheet of parchment paper. Mark the four corners of the loaf pan, fold, and crease the paper on all four sides. With the long side of the creased rectangle in front of you, cut slits up to the rectangle's left and right corners. Do the same for the other side. You will have 4 slits total. Then, place the paper in the baking pan, folding and layering the flaps to fit. Cut a slit in each of the corners so you can fold down the paper over the pan's edges. Secure the folded paper onto the edges with the stainless steel clips to keep the lining from moving when you mix the butter during baking. And speaking of baking, this is a good time to preheat the oven to 340 degrees Fahrenheit or 170 degrees Celsius. Sprinkle half tablespoon white sparkling sugar on the bottom of the lined pan. This sugar will add a crunchy texture to the cake's bottom and help retain moisture. In a small bowl, add 3 tablespoons honey, 2 tablespoons water, and 1 tablespoon mizuame syrup. This Japanese starch syrup is a clear, thick, and sticky liquid that's used to make traditional Japanese confectionery. As you can see, it's super sticky, so you may need a mini spatula to scrape it from the measuring spoon. If you cannot find mizuame in a jar at a Japanese grocery store, or if the mizuame you've purchased is more fluid and watery, I recommend to skip this ingredient. Adding more watery substitutes can cause the cake to become flatter. Take your time to dissolve the mizuame. Press down and mash the mizuame with a mini spatula to facilitate dissolving. Do not microwave the mixture as we do not want to increase the temperature of the batter. Sift 100 gram bread flour with a sifter. In the bowl of a stand mixer, crack 3 large eggs and add 100 gram sugar. Fill a stand mixer with the whisk attachment. Now vigorously beat the eggs and sugar on high speed or speed 10 on a KitchenAid mixer for 5 minutes without stopping. The beaten eggs will quadruple in volume and have a thick texture and pale yellow color. When you stop the mixer and lift the whisk attachment, the mixture should fall in ribbons. Gradually add the honey mixture to the batter while whisking on low speed, or speed 2 until combined, about 30 seconds. Then change to stir or lower speed, and gradually add the bread flour and whisk until just combined, about 30 seconds. Do not overmix. When you lift the whisk, the batter should fall in ribbons. Using a silicone spatula, scrape the batter from the sides and bottom of the bowl and gently fold the butter a few times. Pour the butter into the cake pan in just one spot. This helps to minimize the air pockets. Drop the cake pan onto the counter a few times. Then, draw a zigzag line through the butter with a bamboo skewer to further eliminate air bubbles. Place the cake pan in the middle rack of the preheated oven. Set a timer for 2 minutes. After the 2-minute timer beeps, reset the timer to 1 minute and do the following steps. Open the oven and spray water over the cake batter with a mister. Then, with an offset spatula, mix and circulate the butter from the left side without touching the sparkling sugar at the bottom of the pan. This mixing technique is called awakiri in Japanese, and it helps to remove air pockets and even out the butter's temperature so the cake will rise evenly without cracking. Now mix and circulate the butter from the right side. Shake off the excess butter on the spatula back into the pan. Close the oven and reset the timer to 2 minutes. Repeat this process 3 more times by spraying water over the butter and mixing from both sides. On the 4th and final time, after mixing the butter, remove the stainless steel clips. Run the bamboo skewer through the butter. Spray water into the oven and then bake for another 28 to 30 minutes. Remove the castella from the oven. Drop the pan twice onto the countertop to release the steam vapors from the cake. This helps prevent shrinkage. Invert the cake from the pan onto a non-stick silicone mat and let cool upside down to room temperature. Once cooled, immediately wrap the cake in plastic to retain moisture. Then put the wrapped cake in the refrigerator and store it overnight. This will help the cake develop a fine and moist texture. Remove the cake from the refrigerator, discard the plastic, and carefully peel off the parchment paper. We'll trim the sides to expose the yellow body of the cake. Slice off the crust from all sides of the cake with a sharp bread knife. Use a damp towel to wipe off the crumbs from the bread after every cut. These castella crusts are moist and delicious to snack on, so don't throw away. Cut the cake crosswise into slices about 3/4 inch thick. You will get about 8 to 9 slices total. Serve castella cake with a tea or coffee if you like. Enjoy!
Itadakimasu.
I hope you enjoy this recipe and check out more of my videos here. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. またね!